Speaks group. But the surprise title of today's L&L is A Funny Thing Happened on My Way Through the Pandemic. So you can imagine that we're going to touch on a little bit of what we'll consider a cycle of content. We're in December. It's just a few months away from what might be a 1 year cycle of content. And we're not thinking to spend time exploring the nature of the pandemic, but we do very much want to explore with you the nature of what I'll call the content in our life and that which, again, precedes even the content. We might refer to that as a reconnection. And we're going to have a magnificent meditation. I'm freezing.
I can get you a sweater.
I'm freezing. Are we freezing? I see a frozen screen.
I don't know.
We see you moving beautifully.
Oh, you do?
We'll keep moving.
Well, good. We are having a frozen screen here. In any case, it's a wonderful meditation that we're going to do, and it's going to occupy a piece of this time together before we go to the life leaders. So I would, Eric, do you want to kind of jump in on how this all came about?
How this all came about really is we're observing, and we were observing from the beginning, how life and perspectives have been changing, how people were talking about the pandemic turning the world upside down. And we even did something, last year about where we turned right side up or upside down. And do we really want to go back to the way things were? In actuality, how much have we really grown? How much have we really evolved? And I think that's important for us to look at how we've grown, how we've evolved. And we realize now numbers are climbing. And I don't want us to, I'm not talking about this from a downer perspective, but we realize that numbers are climbing. Things are changing. What's going on? And yet we've been adapting to a new way of life and safety and paying attention to things, and hopefully not confusing wearing a mask for health with it being a political statement. And the more we get that, the more things will be better for us.
He doesn't have an opinion on this.
I don't have an opinion on
this subject. He doesn't have an opinion.
But if I did, you could psychically intuit that wear your mask. It's not politics, it's health. If not yours, it's mine. And but the funny thing is that even though numbers are increasing, we are in a better state, most of us, I believe, of peace around this. There's less that is so shocking and jolting, and there's a lot that is, but we are in a better space for it. So I'm observing as we're coming through yet another level of our evolution with this, and for some strange reason, it flashed back to me that Old probably never was all that funny movie anyway. A funny thing happened to me on the way to the forum, and a funny thing happened on the way, not to, but through the pandemic.
So the way in which we'd love to just share these first few minutes before the meditation is to look at the understanding of reconnecting. Reconnecting is an experience, and reconnecting relates to so many perceptions as we kind of allow ourselves to awaken to them. Reconnecting to oneness and humanity, the oneness that is of the universe or the universe, and reconnecting with the original fullness, as you probably hear often, of balance, freedom, certainty, to be of love. So it begs the question across all platforms: neuroscience, science, spiritual science, science of mind. We have a lot of sciences. Science is sort of the focus of our attention right now. And it really begs the question of, can one person have a healing if we are all one? Is there such a understanding once we release singularity and subject and object? Is it possible that any aspect of one has a healing if we exist as God, as love, as the intelligence of the universe, as energy, light, and information?
And sometimes we get confused around that depending on the size of the group we're looking at. And that, and you see, truth doesn't change, but perspective can be altered. It can be, my father had a healing, yeah, but can your father have a healing without your mother having a healing? Can that happen without you having a healing? So, and therefore, bringing it back to where we were, can any one person, just one person, receive a healing?
What if in this shared experience we are all having, and when I say we are all, I am obviously not referring to the community that is gathering here today. We are all sharing. There isn't a sentient human being or life form that is of the experience of what we'll call the planets, however you may understand the planet, that isn't ultimately part of a more magnanimous, more selfless aspect of experience right at the moment. And this is whether it is being exercised in your activities, cognizantly or not. There is a selflessness that has begun in a way that allows more oneness, more connectivity, more reconnection to pervade the nature of our finite experience. And it's very exciting. A self-sacrifice in a way to that which exists prior to any known self-identity, lineage, karma, inherited circumstance. So we ask this question: can the illusion of separation exist while our awareness returns to its knowingness? Ask that question. It is an important one. Can the illusion of separation exist while our awareness returns to its knowingness, to that which is, has always been, never ceases to be? The answer may lie in the understanding of self and the understanding of reconnection. And that's what we want to explore today. We are being called to be the expression of human light, homo luminous human light. And what is it that new normal, new understanding might mean? How and in what way can the identity of our scientifically known species, a Homo sapien, meaning human knowledge and wisdom, is it our reconnection to human light as we have traveled so beautifully off into the nature of knowledge and wisdom? We've experienced energy, light, and information has experienced itself through each one of us in the quest for human knowledge and knowingness, or human knowledge and human wisdom. And now we have this reconnection. And that's the opportunity I think we want to explore. As always, every reconnective healing experience is our own. It is so very personal. It's so infinite. For those of you who love the idea of prayer, it is prayer personified. It is that which exists prior to prayer, in a way. So, any questions so far before Eric guides us through this beautiful meditation together?
I do have something in the chat from Melanie. She says, "Are we all healing simultaneously and not even realize it is happening, even if we know nothing about it?"
Let's break it down.
Very, very, very interesting question. I'm going to tell you because the way I sort of designed this meditation was to start it on an earthly level, and then for us to explore what's been coming about that wasn't in our cognitive, or it may not have been in our cognitive or intentional awareness. So very good question.
It's a beautiful question. We are going to just quickly say hello to our YouTubers who get to sneak peek in on our Wednesdays. They should just come on and join us already, right? It's like they sneak peek for like 8 or 10 minutes, like a little, little nip at something. So we hope that they'll consider coming and hanging out in our beautiful Reconnective Life community. So we enjoyed having you, and bye-bye.
But do come join us, please.
Bye, YouTubers. You guys wave to them. Bye, YouTubers.
Hey, YouTubers. Hi and bye.
Bye-bye.
Amir said something interesting addressing that.
Okay.
He said, one is the whole experiencing itself through the eyes of a person, meaning a finite.
Absolutely.
Each shift in perspective is another one person, meaning the same whole experiencing itself as another person.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you, Amir. This is a deeply important directional sharing when you are understanding the nature of reconnective healing. It doesn't need to be practiced. This isn't what Amir is stating. This isn't a practice, but it is a directional understanding that the cognitive body mind doesn't find congruent to it again. So this is part of that simultaneity. When you play in the frequencies, one of the very earliest sensations that people were reporting was synesthesia, a coalescing of all experiential sensation, height, width, depth, time, smell, hearing, feeling. There was a crossing over, and we speak about this, to be able to hear numbers, to taste color. This we might, when in singularity, think of as, oh, an enhanced ability. Here I am this person who now has this special capacity or ability. In the reconnective healing experience, we understand it's actually the reverse. It is actually the dissolving of that person, singular person, in the return to what would be a more infinite, immeasurable, irreducible being. And so this is what we really want to explore today. Worthiness, that chatty body mind that likes to like cruise a lifetime through worthiness issues. It's just, yeah.
I was just saying, I think it's worthwhile for us to explore where resistance comes to in the dissolving of otherness, because it's not always just our own perspective, but just as one person's healing is everyone's, one person's perspective can filter others. For example, the concept of synesthesia, what I referred to in the first book as transsensory or transcending the senses, I avoided the word synesthesia for several reasons, including that in psychology and psychiatry, because they didn't understand that synesthesia is actually a dissolving of otherness, therefore an expansion for us in our evolution, because it wasn't of the norm, of the usual. They actually looked at it as a problem and tried to treat it. So as we were dissolving otherness, they were finding ways psychologically and medically to try to reinstill our otherness. And not that those people were good or bad. It's just that our perspective, especially professionally, was so limited that it then was casting that limited perspective out through the healthcare fields and into the general community. And it's taking a while right now for us just to begin to recognize that smelling a color is not a problem that needs to be treated. Not at all.
And you might think of it, if you had the choice to have supersonic hearing.
Have what?
If you had the choice to have supersonic hearing, that's perfect Dr. Eric humor. If you're new to us,
if you have the choice to have supersonic healing, I might take the soup.
So if you have the choice to have supersonic healing, or you have the choice to be able to taste, color, hear numbers, touch sound, with the diagnosing of self, super special person, we chose the ego. We did, rather than wholeness. And so here we are. We've got a beautiful few minutes to journey into a meditation together that is going to explore singularity. It's going to explore conditions. It's going to explore the sort of themes and stories that are part of our beautiful finite experience. George Bell, you look so serious today. I need to just see you. Hi, George. Stay with me. You're listening so intently. But look at, and George looks like someone who has life experience. I'm going to sort of use the frame of our togetherness to look at this. This is life experience. The question we explore in a reconnective healing experience is, and before.
Hey there, family. Dr. Eric and Jillian here.
Welcome, everyone.
And we're very excited about Reconnective Life, our first online global community. This is the most exciting way we've been able to get together since I founded the Reconnection. It'll be a place where we can do things together. We'll move into breakout rooms at times when that's appropriate. We'll have energy interactions and meditations and exercises. In other words, expect things you haven't seen before.
You are so charged.
Things
He is so lit about every new way we get to be together every day. Just be together. Let us just speak a little bit about what is going to be the shape of this community.
In this community, we can share and discover more. Here we can talk to each other, we can chat, we can learn from and about one another. Jillian, me, our life leaders, and you will be in daily conversation with you. Weekly, we will have Facebook Lives.
We will be with you every Wednesday. Sometimes it'll be just Eric. On occasion, it might just be me. Sometimes it'll be the two of us. It's all about giving you a way to look at the week living in the frequencies.
And in every fourth week, we will include a live Q&A so we can talk about things that have been coming up for us, discuss back and forth, share, grow, expand together.
And the ever-growing library of content that has been created over 20 years that will be on demand for you. It will be on-demand content for you to view, enjoy, share again with your inner circle.
And monthly, we are going to have live Zoom retreats. We're going to bring in some exercises and experiences and things that previously we've reserved for our physical retreats, you know, when we were in the different location resorts and things. And we're modifying them so that we can work with these with you in your home, in your living room, in your den. Put into the chat line, what is facility? We're having these weekly Zoom in-depth Q&As.
Finally, we have a place and space to just define what does that really mean, living in the frequencies.
This is something that is in all of us.
Everyone can do this.
It doesn't matter how many levels you've gone through or how well you know the programs. It's a community that allows us to recognize how interrelated we all are as receivers of energy, light, and information.
See you there.
Reconnective Life, living in the frequencies every day.